Hi everyone, this is Jeje and welcome to Be Colorful. Today we're gonna create not one but two Halloween boxes. I'm going to use as a base for the boxes the dies of the Tonic Craft Kit 45, but you can create the boxes of the shape that suits you best. So let's start right away to create Mrs. and Mr. Monster. For the basic structure of the two boxes, I'm gonna use a blue cardstock for Mr. Monster and a fuchsia one for Mrs. Monster. For the scary mouth of the monsters, I'm going to use the tag die included in the kit. Die cutting directly on what will be the front of the boxes. In this way, it will be possible to see the sweeties inside the boxes, or you can use them as lanterns, putting a candle, but the ones with the battery, please. In the past videos I made this opening by drawing the shape on the back and cutting it with a precision knife. Therefore, you can use these two techniques to obtain the same result, choosing according to your preferences and the dies that you have in your stash. Now, to make our Mrs. and Mr. Monster scarier, I'm going to cut out a lot of little triangles to make super menacing teeth. So I glue these triangles to the back of the figure. And now it's your round, Mr. Monster. Okay, still on the back, I am going to glue a piece of acetate sheet. And let's move on to the eyes, for which I'm going to die cut two circles of different sizes. So the monsters will also be a little funny. To create the iris of the eyes, I'm going to use a stamp from the Tonic Craft Kit 41. If you don't have such a stamp, you can die cut a small circle or use a hole punch. You can then create the white dot with a white gel pen or by using a white acrylic paint and a dotter tool. Having used the VersaFine Onyx Black for stamping, I have the time to do a heat embossing technique as it is a slow drying ink. In this way I get a shiny and slightly embossed finish. I decided to give the two monsters some details, creating some textures with the stencil technique. Maybe it would have been better to do this before gluing the teeth and the acetate. If you want to replicate this idea, I recommend you do it first for simplicity. Now I don't have many stencils and I'd like to create some sort of stains, so I'm going to use this die that I think it's a wall of stones, and I gonna create my own stencil using a sheet of Miller. These are special sheets for creating stencils, but you can use acetate or cardstock. In the latter case, however, you can use your stencils just one time because they cannot be cleaned. Okay, with my new stencil, I proceeded to create the stains for Mrs. Monster, applying the clear Versamark ink with a finger sponge for great precision. In fact, as you can see, I'm not doing the entire surface of the stencil, just a few parts here and there. After that, I'm going to do the heat embossing with the clear embossing powder. Of course, I'm going to decorate the back as well. Let's move on to Mr. Monster. For him, I always use the stencil technique with the same stencil, but I'm going to apply the blue Glimmer paste included in the kit. After doing the front and back, I'm going to clean everything. Remember that Glimmer paste is based on glue, so once dry, it is not easy to remove, if not impossible. It can be removed from my glass surface with a spatula even when dry, but if you don't clean the stencil right away, you will ruin it forever. Glimmer paste has quite a long drying time, so to be safe, let it dry overnight, or at least, I don't know, 3-4 hours. It's time to assemble the boxes. Also in this video I cut this part because I have already shown how to assemble these boxes in the previous videos, in particular for the pumpkin boxes and for the mummy box. You can find the links to the videos below in the description box. Next, I'm going to glue the monster's eyes using some foam pad to give a nice dimension. I think these monsters are missing something. A nice pair of horns. I'm going to draw them by hand on the back of a silver mirror card with a satin finish. I cut them out. If you want to finish the back as well, just glue the horns to other pieces of silver paper and cut out again, following the shapes. The edges will remain white in this case because the paper has a white paper core. I don't like it very much, so with a silver marker I'm going to color these edges. Since I decided to make the horns after assembling the box, it's now a bit difficult to create the holes to insert Mrs. Monster's horns. If you want to put the horns on, put them before assembling the box. For Mr. Monster it is easier since it's not yet assembled. Okay, now I can proceed to assemble this box as well. I glue the eyes. And finally, I'm going to make the tags to apply on the boxes. And I can say that the monsters are ready to scare everyone. The video ends here. I hope you like Mrs. and Mr. Monster. If so, leave them a nice like and subscribe to my channel. This is the little family of monsters we have created so far. We look forward to seeing you in the next video for the latest Halloween box. Thank you for joining with me. Bye bye and be colorful.